Hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of the Anthropodcast, our mono bug run of Pokemon LeafGreen, here on the Bulbagarden Twitch channel. As always, I am Archaic, Bulbagarden Webmaster, resident Orc Trainer, Yellow Adult Terrier, and apparently even better with bug types than I thought I was, because we absolutely bodied Blaine. It says there with Pinsir, but no, it was Butterfree. Butterfree was the star of that show. We had been talking it down for the past couple of weeks, but Compound Eyes, Sleep Powder, and then just slamming it with Psychic over and over and over did actually work. Hello there, Normans. Hello, Bugcatcher J. Great to have you here again. And now, well, I guess our next... Sure, I missed one stream of Mothra Descents. Oh, speaking of which, if you've missed a stream, KR Black, you've also missed the names. We settled on some names at the end of last stream. So, Venomoth ended up as Yurei because people convinced me of enough kanji puns that it made sense. And then the beetle who can't sing, Yoko, was funny enough that I went with it. So we finally have names for it's about time. In any case, now we need to do the thing that we didn't do at the end of last stream, which is to actually wait, where is he? Oh crud, don't tell me I need to go up to Cinnabar to meet with him. Where's Bill? Oh, there's Bill. Okay, now we need to go with the strange man over to the Sevii Isles. Yes, the strange rich man taking a 10-year-old trainer to a southern isle. Yes, nothing sus about that in the early 2000s. How did he manage to take us there without even a port? Whatever. One island. I have not been here in 20 years. Celio's network. I had 4 cards of that in my deck back in the day. Hey there, Celio. Oh, can't believe you came out here. Well, absolutely. How's your research coming on? Oh, wait a sec. This is my Celio. He's a dedicated PC maniac. This is my rotting Canada's Pokemon Jam. That's really impressive. I hate to say it, but I have 0 aptitude for battling. Anyways, I'm glad to meet you. Oh, great. Now, I'm Celio, aren't I? I have no aptitude for battling. So bring me up to speed. How's your machine running? It's running fine, but we're too remote out here. The PCs on this island just can't link with your PC, Bill. Oh yeah? Okay, let me take a look-see. Hang on. Yeah, I think we can make it work. Let me help you, okay? Oh, no, can get you to wait for me just a bit. Actually, can get you to do me a favour. Oh, next to this one's got 2 islands. Guy there that runs a game corner. There's this thing for rare rocks and gems. We keep in touch being fellow maniacs. And get you to deliver this meteorite to him. Great. We're fetch questing, aren't we? You're going to 2 island, please take this. Well, at least he gave us a pass. Pass for those serving the local islands. Let you travel between islands 1, 2, and 3. Oh, you should have this too. Catch you later. Say hi to the guy for me. Okay. Well, at least it's in a Pokemon Center. Dang, that's a big computer. Insurance Diggles in the Pokedex. How big it builds data centers? I mean, isn't the data center just the thing he's got in his house? And I realise we do have to come back here to get all these Pokemon, but we'll get them soon enough. Because we have to go in the Pokemon Center so it's at least activated for flying later. Jeez, I really don't remember anything about this place. Okay. Where's Listel gotten to today? She's always bringing me lunch every day right about now. You there, you found Listel's? You seen Listel around? Don't know where she might be. She's been here long ago. Listel's a kitty. She's got my looks. Yeah, I don't think she's a kitty then. Something's happened to my Listel. Please help me find her. Please go search the island. Ah, what's this? Could I understand in this cat? They'll be waiting in the islands. Where are they? Hey, you. The only 3 islands around here. Try waiting. What a bed you bunk. This is 2 island. Move it. Get your filthy motorbike out of my place. Oh, gotcha. These islands are confusing. Would you look at that? It scuffed on my floor. Yeah, okay, fine. House with red roof on 3 island. More fetch quest city. Whatever. Since when have locks ever been a thing for buildings on this game? See, we just go in and no one notices. Like all his rare rocks and gems. We could have literally stolen his rare rocks and no one would know better. Activate that for fast travel. Yeah, let's go back to Canada right now. Let's go here, pal. What shall I attribute my call to you? Yeah, Fong's been raising havoc on their backs. Do you have any idea how much trouble they've caused us on the island? No man, I don't get it at all. Look at this place. What do you do for entertainment? You could be thanking us for lighting up a sleepy village. Hey, if you insist, you can try making a sleeve. Cowards so tough in the pack. Yeah, okay. Let's, they're bikers, so... well, let's reward Butterfree with a battle. What are you staring at? Don't you know it's not polite? What am I saying of it? Like, you can't be losing one of me, but... True, some locks do exist. Ooh, and yes, I can imagine those 30th anniversary cards are going to be a pain. I have no idea how I'm going to get any of those here myself. Like card prices for new cards here normally aren't too bad if it's boosters, but once they're collections and boxes, they're not cheap. Well, that was easy. Business license buying was a business. I mean, in all honesty, it's probably something I should eventually do, but I legally cannot do that on my current visa. Like the initial visa I'm in this country on is a digital nomad visa, and until I move over to the spouse visa, which takes years for the application process, hence why we're using the digital nomad as a bridge, I can't have any sort of local business. It all has to be for foreign clients. Yeah, well, that's how it works here. So the rules of the visa is that I can't work for any local company and I can't establish a company, but I can continue on like working for foreign clients, which is what I do. On the plus side, it's also tax-free. So, but yeah, long term I probably will get myself a local business license of some form so I can do that sort of thing. I mean, I'd have to actually sell stuff, but I mean, rents aren't that expensive here. I could probably set up a little local store selling Pokemon cards, and well, I wouldn't be able to do just Pokemon cards, but I could probably find something like that as a little side gig thing. But yeah, certainly the easiest way to get my hands on Pokemon cards, sadly enough. Game journalists have Bulbagarden as your company. See, there are ways I could do something like that, but then I wouldn't have a local business license to be able to do importation for that sort of thing. Otherwise, I would just use my existing, like, Australian business identity for my consulting work to do that, though that might be a bit awkward. What's Bond Bridge? Okay. But yeah, there's probably all sorts of ways I could do things. Something I'll eventually look into once I'm actually, you know, settled and secure. Hello. Ooh, and seeing Meowth reminds me I should probably check. Yes, Meowth did get something. Give, take. What do we get? Rare candy! Yes! Please be quiet one bot. Why would you have to be quiet one crossing? Whatever. You can more so sold out of all 30 celebration cards. That does not surprise me in the least. Scalpers are horrible people. What was the point of that? There wasn't anything on the ground in there and I couldn't go south. It wouldn't let me turn down here. So what was the point of that? Whatever. We should probably change our Pokemon out to something a bit lower leveled. Now, I mean, Celebrations was bad enough. 30th anniversary is going to be pretty horrible. Like, I have no hopes of ever finishing that dex. And this is going to be a problem because it would be... Okay, I'm just going to have to attack. Oh, thank goodness I'm quicker. Maybe I could run away then. Nope. Should have attacked. Whatever. Oh, whatever. That for businesses, that's horrible. I mean, I would say it's probably easier for you to get stock as well as a business with physical locations, because I have to imagine they're trying to avoid giving everything to the online stores, which might be a little more sus in terms of, like, are they legitimate stores or is it really a person buying it for themselves who's then going and scalping? Upside down. Yeah, okay. Snowy. Locations, and then I'm going to wait in line. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's a struggle to figure out what to do about the scalpers. Like, how do you demolish that market? Like, the scalpers will continue doing it so long as it's profitable. Re-release... Well, okay. So... Re-releasing cards... I think falls into the same category as the idea of just print more cards. So... One of the big issues of re-releasing cards is that they're basically already at capacity for making cards. So if you're going to re-release cards, it means that you can't release as many new cards. So it basically means that you'd have to stop making as many new sets. And the idea is, does resale besides bans sale sets within 6 to 9 months of release, would that stop them? It would stop some, not all, because part of the issue there becomes that the resellers who have enough cash flow, who say are working with other things as well as Pokemon, so they're not perhaps dependent on Pokemon sales immediately to make sufficient money, they'd be willing to store them for however long to then sell them. And like this is kind of the issue of re-releasing cards. Re-releasing cards only works if you have people who are holding on to the cards to sell them later, as opposed to selling them immediately marked up. If they're holding on to them and you re-release cards, you potentially devalue their inventories. But I say potentially because are you actually going to make more cards available in the market, or are you simply giving them a chance to the scalpers a chance to replenish their stocks? Because if all the cards just keep getting bought by the scalpers, it doesn't matter if there's more cards theoretically out there in the world, because all you've done is increase the inventories of the scalpers. Damage the packs before you sell them is definitely one thing that can and should be done, and is done in some places now, where they basically say, like, you buy physical packs in store, and when you buy this, oh, sorry, I just realised I need to catch this, don't I? You buy physical packs in store, and they open the packs on the spot. You have no choice. Dang it. You have no choice about them being opened. That at least stops the resellers who are who want sealed packs. There are some resellers though who are completely fine going with singles. Having said that, I think it's the ones who are sealed packs at the moment. People were saying the other week they're the main problem, so it's probably not the issue. Of course, what do you do about online sales then? Because, I mean, say me, like, if I wanted to buy stuff from, say, the US, I would need to buy online. Like, do you just say that stores apart from, say, Pokemon Company can't sell them? Because, like, if I wanted to buy Actually, one second. Should I take Endeavour? What is it? It's normal. No. Online sales TCGs, the thing scalpers haven't beaten us to it. Well, that is true. That's part of the problem. But like, if I was going to buy, why is that? I hit bees. Whatever. No. Stop letting it. Yes, there we go. If I wanted to buy from, say, Amazon, and the packs weren't sealed, I would be justified in thinking that there's a good chance whoever sold me those cards had opened them up and taken the rare cards out and replaced them with bulk cards. I think that would be a natural assumption. I mean, people used to avoid buying from Amazon specifically for that reason. There was a reputation they got that people were opening the packs and then resealing them. If I was buying from official Pokemon Center, I'd be less concerned about something like that because I'd have more confidence that the staff weren't actually stealing my cards. So I think you would have to have some kind of certification program, and like random Amazon marketplace seller absolutely should not qualify for that. But like even then, like you'd still be going, like say that Target thing. Great that Target does that physically in store. If they did it online, I don't know if I'd trust random Target employee receiving minimum wage to not be futzing with my cards. It just feels a bit sus. So yeah, it's like, unless you stop all physical sales completely, stop all online sales completely, only have physical sales, I'm not sure if you really have much of a hope of killing the scalpers. If you have physical sales only, where the card packs have to be opened on the spot, the question becomes, do the scalpers then transition to a individual cards market? Or do they just move to other games? If they move to other games, then, well, we've solved it for Pokemon. Until everyone else starts doing the exact same thing. Though, in all honesty, I am amazed that trading card games and anything else that's got a randomized packet haven't fallen foul of gambling laws in some countries yet. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are some countries where they cannot sell Pokemon cards because they violate gambling laws. Like, long term, I wonder if the solution is to transition from a TCG model to, I think it's called an LCG model, a living card game, where basically like you buy the expansion pack that's basically a box, and it's every card in the set in the quantities you're allowed to use, and that's it. Like, you easily have access to every single card, so there's no real need for a secondary market because it's just there. I should probably go back and heal. Shopping online sales sucks for someone like me. Normally, I was laid out. I would go into shops usually limited ability. Yeah, I mean, that's the other issue with those kinds of things. I mean, it's the same problem Pokemon Go had, isn't it? They were based. I mean, they designed it for essentially urban players, and rural players were ruined. If you are requiring physical stock, that makes it extremely difficult for people who don't live in the big cities. Trainers are stopping sunrise and they have getting tips to go to their physical store, only card sales. I mean, in Japan, I think they would do it. I honestly do think that would happen in Japan specifically. I think the whole scalping thing over there has gotten out of hand to the point where they feel that things are becoming a social nuisance and that it's directly and negatively harming their reputation in the country as a result, and they would transition to physical sales only. Or possibly something where, like, yeah, you buy it online, but you got to pick it up physically. And so maybe that, like, okay, you can buy online and it'll be delivered to a local pickup point, which is probably something like a, you know, I mean, Japan being what it is, your pickup point would be your local Lawson or 7-Eleven or something like that. It would be one of the major konbini brands, and the store staff there would, like, be instructed to open the packs there before they hand them over. So I think that is absolutely something they could do there. In Japan also, Yahoo Auctions have cooperated with Pokemon and other TCG makers like Bandai to actually make an effort at stamping out counterfeit cards and scalpers. So, like, there are actual efforts for that happening in Japan. The question is, how far would they go? And it's a lot easier to do that in Japan, where there's, like, all these social conformity issues that would be helping to encourage the businesses to go along with this stuff, than trying to apply those kinds of rules to, say, the United States or whatever. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it feels like the only ways to stop scalpers are either something in the, like, managing sales to ensure that scalpers can't overbuy, that they can't lock regular consumers out of the market, or something that outright changes the nature of the product that makes it undesirable to scalp. Either with something at the point of sale, like the forced opening of packs, or through some other means like transitioning to a living card game model or something like that. How many balls are we gonna need for this? Actually, you know what? Let's change our Pokemon. Maybe we can get this asleep. Oh, and Meowth's got something again. But yeah, like... like, the problem with, like, eBay and Amazon stopping it is how. Like, ultimately, like, what can they do? unless they can do something like enforce that sealed Pokemon product cannot be sold for above the recommended retail price or within some certain band above it, to make it unprofitable. I guess maybe that could be doable, but really, would they do it? Because sadly, it's not like this is illegal. Well, okay, actually, is it illegal? That's actually an important point. I doubt many of the scalpers are registered dealers in second-hand goods. Assuming they are not a registered dealer in second-hand goods, eBay is a registered dealer in second-hand goods, so it's not going to make a difference there. I'm going to have to get Lapras for that. Okay, so scalpers would not be able to sell on Amazon if they are selling essentially second-hand product. If they are not themselves registered dealers in second-hand goods, that would be illegal. eBay, it's okay because it's not technically them selling, it's eBay selling on consignment for them, legally speaking. So they can get away with that platform. But yeah, I guess you probably could have a massive campaign of people reporting everyone on Amazon who was selling scalped Pokemon product there on the basis that this company does not have a second-hand goods license and they are selling this stuff second-hand. You could do that. But is Amazon really going to crack down on them? Probably not. Not unless you could get some actual law enforcement investigating the stuff. But I mean, hey, there was that case in Taiwan just the other week where, what were they talking about? We were talking literal millions of US dollars worth of Pokemon cards there. Where they'd scammed people on pre-orders and vanished with all the cards that they'd been given on consignment and everything. But I mean, that's on a whole other scale. Unless it hits Amazon's bottom line, they won't act. Yeah, pretty much. It would have to be a big legal case against Amazon for knowingly allowing these companies to sell second-hand items without a license. And I'm sure Amazon could argue that, oh no, we had no idea, how could we have possibly known that these people selling overpriced Pokemon cards were doing so in an illegal manner? And I mean, depending on the laws against selling second-hand goods in different countries, it may not actually be against the law depending on where they are. I'm not even fighting, we can just move away from that one. I still have Leech Life, yes, I'll take that. Well, I'm glad these wild Pokemon around here are much higher level. This will help us in training our Pokemon. And we will need it. Well, will we? I mean, I think we could probably already defeat Giovanni, couldn't we? I don't know what Pokemon Giovanni has, but I assume there's at least a Nidoking and or a Nidoqueen. So that's one or two Pokemon that are just, demolished already. Oops. Oh, of course I don't have a... Whatever. Let's get that. What else would he have? I mean, it should just be ground Pokemon. Oh wait, they're gonna have rock attacks, aren't they? Yeah, it's probably still alright. I mean, we got fighting types. 56. So, what is it? I think that was 56. 50 Rhyhorn is his ace. He's going down. Pinsir can demolish that. Pinsir with Brick Break. That should be enough to take it out, right? Like we can start with Parasect to dig on whatever they start with. Yeah, it should be easy enough. Ooh, a Hypno. We need to catch that. Conveniently, we're paralyzed, so they can't poison us. Ooh, that was critical, so I guess that'll probably be fine. Yes! Okay, spore it, and capture. Not too bad. We're in the middle of a fetch quest that's taking a while. I honestly thought this fetch quest would be finished sooner than this. Oh, for freaking... So, whatever. Parasect's getting KO'd. Level 45 Rhyhorn's the opening, then yeah, Giovanni's... Oh, of course it's got Insomnia. Whatever. I have no other stuff that's realistically going to paralyze it or whatever. I don't want to poison it because that'll knock it out, so let's just throw the balls. No, that worked. Do desperately need to get to a Pokemon Center though. Especially with those guys flying around. Oh, that's gonna hurt. And I need to catch this so I can't even knock it out here. Not intentionally anyway. Nope, too much power. Okay. I should put the Butterfree back at the front. In case we need to sleep something. But yeah, most of what you missed, Podcatcher J, was us ranting on about TCG scalpers. And here's the little Oscar. Alright, what's scaring them? The Hypno. Well, we don't need to catch this. Guess we'll just Silver Wind it. I'm actually surprised that worked. That was so scary, thank you. Well, at least they teleported us right to the, back to 2 Island. Oh, that's something we won't need. Oops, I don't need Bill's PC. I need my PC. We do not need that moonstone because we will never, ever use one of those. For that matter, I'm not going to need the leaf stone. Water stone. Where'd the moonstone go? Don't think we use that stone. Moonstone. Oh, I have 3 of them, that's why. Alright, was that the whole fetch quest? Can I just go heal and head back to one island now? I guess I can. Then I suppose we need to figure out which Pokemon we need to go and grab. Obviously we need the Pidgeot. I guess we'll leave both reactive for now. So I'm not having a good time, we got it done. PC's up and running. Job went incredibly quick. It was one amazing guy. No, there's always nothing left for me to do. Hey, yeah, it was working on the other island, so they clearly got it fixed. Said no, I mean, we did tell him no last week. Tell him to buzz off. But the fish with Joe, head back to Kanto. Seeing you again. So, we sent you off alone today. I promise I'll show you around these islands sometime. Oh, I got the tri-pass, so whatever. I can go back there anytime I want. I'm Vermilion Port now. Alright. I guess we swim up this route. I have the oddest feeling that I never used to bother going up this route. That I just fly to Viridian, skip all this bit. Wow. And why am I doing that? That's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to actually get the Lapras. Where's the Lapras? Where's the Lapras? Wasn't any other trains around here? Missed was there? Geez, after the wild Pokemon in the previous area, these Pokemon feel a bit too weak. I guess they didn't really rebalance these that much. take the XP share off my Pokemon? Or wait, no, it's on this guy, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Absolutely need to get Hilton leveled up. But I might actually put Beedrill there for now. Tangler, Sevii, Kingler. Don't we have Horsey already? Oh, well, check soon enough. What about that's just from this route though. What about 1, 2 and 3 Island? Because really we should go and do those properly before we challenge the gym, shouldn't we? Should properly complete these routes. Hydrate very well. Oops. That's good all the way. Ow. Managed to shock myself and just turn the light on. Ow. The seat just on my pants. You have a joke for me. What is it? Why do cows have hooves? Think. Because they lack toes. I think that's more of an ME style pun than anything else. I'll at least try to make my puns Pokemon. Like if I was gonna make a joke like that, I'd talk about how Whitney's Miltank is an utter pain in the neck. I mean, isn't saying a bad pun an oxymoron? Also, how is it that we have not had a bovine Pokemon yet called an oxymoron? Like, I don't think even a Pokemon parody game has made something like that yet. If you don't know your type chart, otherwise that Miltank isn't hard. Yeah, and if you're playing Mono Bug and that Miltank just rolls out on your bugs in Gen 2. Seriously, Whitney was a massive wall to me doing this style of run in Gen 2 back in the day. Yeah, but that's the thing. You didn't have Heracross. You didn't get Heracross until after Whitney. At Whitney, doing that sort of run, you would have, like, what did I have with Silver? Did I have Butterfree and B? No, I definitely had Beedrill. I think I had Ledean. I don't... Did I have Shuckle already? Didn't have Heracross, Pinsir, or Scyther. I'd have to look on Bulbapedia and check the early game availability, but I know that I would not have had Heracross at that point. Because I wouldn't have gotten it from trees. The only place I would have gotten it from was the bug catching game, and Whitney's before the bug catching game. I mean, you probably do, but, like, remember, I was playing that game, like, before... Wait, was it before it released in the US? No, it wouldn't have been, but it would have been before there were any real walkthroughs. So I definitely did not have the details of how to use Headbutt to get anything. Oh yeah, well that's the other thing, I'm talking specifically about Gold and Silver here, not Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That's a completely different kettle of fish. Intending to get it before Whitney, yes, but you're probably not going to without intentionally grinding for it with the internet. Yeah, exactly. So, I was absolutely not grinding intentionally for it. It does occur to me that if I wanted to, like, I could actually do this run in Gen 2 and stream that sometime. Like, that's not difficult at all. I have the technology. I can't do it with the DS games, but I can absolutely do it with Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. So if people really wanted to see it, I could do it. I don't know how many years in a row I want to be doing monobug runs. I'm prepared to do them between other streams, but there are other things I want to stream. Well, if I end up with multiple streams on the channel, I suppose it's possible. And honestly, it's probably more fun doing these earlier gens for those runs, because it's like the rules about blindly doing things are a little less painful for these older gens than it would be for newer gens. Especially something like Scarlet Violet, where it's so open-ended. If I was going to do that blind without Bulbapedia to assist me, to figure out where all the bugs are, I would be spending so much time of those runs just running around searching for bugs, hoping I could find them. And just physically avoiding every Pokemon I could that wasn't a bug. And I don't see how you make that a very interesting thing to watch. You could cheat and use the Terra Crystals to get the bugs. There's that too. You're quite right. We would have to ban those for the purpose of the run, I think. I think games which are more... Whoops. Games which are more linear are easier to do this kind of run for. A non-linear game... Oh, come on. With a non-linear game, I'd be much more concerned about potentially missing Pokemon because I didn't go to like the exact right location that I needed to find a specific thing. Mind you, even with something like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, I'd probably have that concern. Heck, even this game is kind of non-linear in a way. Things like the power plant and 123 Island. I guess it might be interesting playing some of those older games, not least because the way I'd play them, it'd be visually as if I'm playing on a Super Game Boy. So you'd get all the nice border graphics of the Super Game Boy. I guess it's not that much different than me streaming all the other games from that generation that I've done on the channel in the past. One of these days I need to look up like this. There's some like World Pinball Day or something. National Pinball Day. When is that? Oh, National Pinball Day was the Saturday that just gone by. If I wanted to do a whole day of streaming Pokemon Pinball for National Pinball Day, I'm a couple of days late. Whoops. Should have looked that up last week. Oh, 666. Make it out for next year, yeah, I'll have to. Hey, maybe next year we'll actually have that physical Pokemon pinball table as a digital table on something we can play. Actually, I wonder how much the physical Pokemon pinball table costs. I mean, I'm not made of money, but I'm not saying I might not be able to afford it. I mean, it'd be a stretch. And Kasumi would probably kill me. 10, 13 grand. Yeah. Not something I can justify until after we've got a nice electric car and we've done certain renovations then. They'll probably stop selling it by the time I can maybe justify it to myself. Yeah. Maybe if I do get that business license once I've got the spouse visa, if they're still selling them, I'll use that as an excuse. Get the business license, have that, have a little store that sells games and has a few arcade things for people to play in the store. Though if I'm going to do something like that, I'd need to be in an actual shopping centre, which would raise the rents a lot. I would not risk doing something like that in a street front store. That far too much risk there of things being stolen. I can probably just dust these down, right? They're weak, right? Not completely, but I can save a few PP that way, I guess. Well, I'll just use for the next one then. I imagine those Pokemon pinball tables, like, I know they're only making a limited amount of them. Oops. So I imagine by then they'll all be sold out. Oh well. Hopefully they do a digital version then. Alright, so we need a Tangler from here, yep. And there it is. And that ain't. Okay. Leech Life. Will that knock it out? Hopefully not. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So long as that doesn't get a crit. Excellent. Just enjoy your 1 HP of recovery. yeah, I'm assuming the limited edition will all be sold out by the time I'm in a position to consider buying one. And I mean, at those prices, it's definitely I could not justify it if I was the only one using it. Like, that would have to be I'm actually opening a business. Jeez. I'm trying to think how long it would take to... Well, I mean, if you charge $1 equivalent for one game, it's going to take 13,000 games. You might be taking over a year to recoup that. Alright. Back in Pallet Town, temporarily heal ourselves up. Alright, let's start with that fishing. Scroll back here and see what... it's Krabby and Kingler. And Horsey, if I don't already have. Let's have a quick check. We have Krabby, we do not have Kingler. We do not have Horsey or Cedra, okay. And so I need to go back into the previous route to do this, right? But here should be fine. I don't have the good rod. Crud. Well, we can get... where's the good rod? How did we miss the good rod? Well, at least we'll get Kingler immediately. We all missed the good rod, yeah. But, I mean, I presume I missed the good rod because I wasn't actively looking for it and haven't been really bothering to talk to a lot of NPCs unless I had a specific reason to. And yes, I did miss strength as well, same reason. Honestly, I think I'm the same. I've usually gotten Super Rod before good. Yeah, you do need strength to beat the game, and we missed it, and we had to go back and get it. Said Fuchsia, talk to the fishing guru. Okay, we'll go back to Fuchsia. We'll catch a flight there. Oh, it's paralyzed already. Why am I doing this? Bag. Actually, yeah, well that explains completely why we missed it. Because we absolutely did. Because Super Rod would be on the route on the right. We went down that way to begin with, so we actually went via the Super Rod before the Good Rod. That's a strange... Seriously. Oops. Indeed. There is no way to get a there is no way to get a access to my boxes in pallet, is there? Meridian's probably gonna be less wild Pokemon. We will not need Lapras again for a while. That'll be the fishing guru to him. Fishing gurus, oh brothers, love fishing guru. Without fish, I guess I do. Take us some fish. Private pool. Okay. Cinnabar and we fish here, I can get the horsey, right? So what's this do for you again? What's what do for me? Rod. Stream a specific action redeem. We haven't decided on anything for that yet. Oh, you just redeemed it. I didn't even hear anything. Star you on pallet with a good rod. Okay, we'll get that in a minute too. Like, I mean, I'm gonna refund you on that bug catcher, Jay, because we literally haven't decided. How do I refund that again? Manage requests. Reject refund. You're almost finished with the game, aren't you? I mean, am I? I've still got to do the Elite Four. I've got to do the islands. There's quite a bit left, and we're not even level 50 with our Pokemon yet. I mean, we're going to have to get up much higher. We have reached the grinding. Yeah, we're going to do Sevii Islands after. I haven't done Sevii Islands in 20 years. I'm eager to go back there and have a look. I'm just going to have to throw Mike. Put it to sleep at least. I mean, majoring in linguistics while sucking at writing essays is a bit of an achievement, I will say. I suppose I wouldn't do it for a streamer-specific action, but that's something I literally could do. I literally could, as a thing I would do as part of consulting work. I mean, I do sometimes still grade assignments. If there was some student who wanted me to do a mock grade of their assignment based on the criteria they've been given and want me to tell them what's good and not about their assignment so that they can improve it before they submit it, that's something I could absolutely do. You got to fill Waffle's room with dolls. What? Cancels functionality bachelors. I don't get this reference, Poker Delta. What do you mean? The only Kanto trainer I know who plays with dolls is Sabrina from the anime. Did I need good or super rod for that Staryu? Ah, well, I'm using the complete wrong rod then, aren't I? You need 100 or so LeafGreen matches to get all the dolls. What the heck? Are you having me on, or is this real? Like, I can't look this up on Bulbapedia until I finish the run. Don't do this to me. Damn, I think Bugcatcher J's realised how to screw with me this run. Tell me trivia that because it's adjacent to run stuff I can't look it up. Well, oh, and there's I will say, no, we want one victory. We shouldn't grind against Elite Four. I mean, it might be efficient to do so, as in spend all our money, then just fight against the Elite Four for however many wins we can get, for the experience and some money, and keep doing it over and over again. We could do it. It would be tedious as heck. Well, there's the Staryu. Okay. How long have we been streaming? 1.5 hours. We've still got time. We can go to 123 Island for whatever we haven't done. Oh, speaking of which, I need... Well, I can get that beyond. for victories to get all 40. Holy heck. I mean, it was how you had to grind back in the day. So, like, having a little Easter egg like that for people who are grinding against the Elite Four is not stupid. It makes plenty of sense. Still be frustrating as heck. I guess we are using the Lapras after all. Now, all of you people who have been looking things up, I need to know, what Pokemon do I need to catch on these islands to satisfy my conditions? I know there's the Pidgeot, which is going to be annoying as heck. But what else is there? And for that matter, what else do we have to go back and catch elsewhere? Like, Psyduck's obvious, but where do we catch these things? I know a lot of this is going... we're currently on one island. I assume you mean FR Fire Red. But okay, so we don't need to catch that. Good. Is that really not part Psychic type? Ouch. I mean, just let me know what's available on this island and we can figure it out. Oh gee, that is early. How are you awake, Delta? Yeah, I have no idea what's available on these islands. I remember people mentioning there were things I need to catch, but there's no bugs. So, I mean, I probably could just go and finish off Giovanni, but, like, I don't think I'd be going into the Victory Road today, because I know Victory Road is going to be a pain. We are Well, I don't know if we'll need a whole session to do it. We've swum. I mean, we're in this, I guess, technically counts as a north section of one island. We took the route to the east, and it turns up towards the north. But, I mean, we just need to know what is available anywhere on one island and figure out what then I can actually catch. If there is actually, for that matter, anything we need to catch. Rock Smash, so we can't get that. Those are all post-national decks. Okay. So that doesn't help us much right now. Oh wait, so are the available Pokemon on the island different after you have the national decks? Gen 1 launch before you get the map decks. Yep, alright. Oh, I see what you're saying. Slugma's the only one of those that's post-nat decks. Right, okay. So somewhere here there's Fearow, Persian, Rapidash, Magmar, Matroke. How's the run? Not too bad. We are just going through some of the Sevii Islands before we go on to take on Giovanni. Well, I should say Viridian Gym. We've got to do his gym trainers too. But we're making good progress, all things considered. And after blowing through Blaine last week, we're certainly doing better than I was expecting to do at this point. Sounds still awake, I took a nap, you can't get try huh. Back before it got knocked out. Amazing. Well, at least going around battling these trainers, catching the Pokemon for our decks is giving us an excuse to train our Pokemon up. And the Pokemon around here, well, apart from the surfing ones, are at least useful levels, somewhat, for training. I don't... Oh, there's the Fearow. Oh, we did already have Fearow. Whatever. Just run like that. I'm just wondering, do we have a Rock Smash TM? If yes, who the heck do I give it to? We do not. Is Rock Smash something I can get easily, or is that something we'll have to leave for later? Because I mean, if I have to return here anyway, then I'm not too concerned. Get rock smash on this island in the end of a spell. Okay. In which case then I think I guess we need to decide what Pokemon am I giving it to? And actually, is it TM or HM here? Would it be HM in this generation? HM, okay, good. Well, in which case, maybe we can teach it to one of our HM mules. That'll make things a bit simpler. We have to teach it to one of the bugs, that might be a bit of a pain. Well, in any case, I think we'll we'll try and do as much of one island as we can, but I want to finish off Giovanni today. So we'll give this another like 20 minutes going through here. Then we'll head over to Viridian and finish that off, and then we can come back. But I'd like just being around the same level as Giovanni's team. I don't think we're going to have any problems with him. He's nowhere near as threatening as Blaine was. Famous last words. Now that I've said it, he's probably going to destroy me with rock attacks or something, but yeah, I think we've got him. Honestly, I'm much more afraid of the Victory Road than I am of Giovanni. Probably remove the XP share from Parasect. I don't think it really needs it anymore. Yeah. It's still one level more than everyone else. I can leave it on for now. Gotcha. Mount Ember sounds a bit of a pain, frankly. We're not requiring ourselves to get Moltres, Zapdos and Articuno until, well, okay. We should probably try and do those after we defeat Victory Road and before we actually take on the Elite Four, shouldn't we? That sounds about right for when we should challenge those, so... I mean, we're definitely coming back to the island anyway. It helps at the end. Yeah, exactly. Well... And we do have XP share, but it's only sharing with one Pokemon at a time. But, yeah, realistically, I don't think we are at a level of power where we can take on the legendary birds without getting bodied. We need a lot more power to take them on. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not even convinced that we can beat them, or rather, can capture them prior to the Elite Four. We can try, but we're gonna need quite a few levels. Not a ringing endorsement. Bowl of chowder, that's not how you... That's not how you enjoy a hot spring. You go play table tennis. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. I can't use them. Literally for the purpose of the run. Even if I could catch them, I can't use them. So... like, we're required to catch them at some point. But... for now, at least, we can safely ignore them. Sounds fairly balanced. 5%'s ugly. But, could be worse. I mean, we've caught... What's the lowest percentage chance we've caught this run? We've got a 1%, or is it 2% that's the lowest we've actually had? Okay, so I think we're done here. Oh, right. Bag. TMs. Rock Smash. Yes, thank you, Lapras. You can actually learn Rock Smash. You might need Confuse Ray. Just a cheat. Bah, humbug. ether that I'll almost certainly never use. I mean, I'm not sure if there's much point going further on in the Isle at this point. Like, we've got to come back to the Isle for the legendaries anyway, so I'm not too concerned about missing some here. I'm treating them kind of like a side quest, more so than a regular route. Like, what I would like to do is go back and grab any Pokemon that I may have missed from earlier routes where I needed to fish them and I didn't have the rods at the time. Now, can I fly from here? I honestly can't remember. Time to find out. The little Pidgey that could bring me all the way back to the Kanto mainland. Even if it can't, we need Pidgey anyway, so we can get back from Viridian. Apparently not. Good to know. Out. Now I was saying that I should probably put Parasect up first. Item does Parasect have anyway? Oh, it is the XP ship, I didn't say. Of course it is. How did I manage to do that? Well, you get out of the way. No. Alright. Why would I be running out of steam by now? You're literally the first person I've challenged in this gym. If it can be caught right here in Viridian City, then I guess that's what I'm going to try and do. Oh, it will too far. Excellent. Why does a random gym trainer have a hyper potion? evil as your gym leader. Slow as that Pokemon to be outsped by a Parasect. Perhaps I should just keep Pinsir at the 4 here and let them gain a few levels. Particularly since I'm going to need them to take out Giovanni's ace. Those percentages sound good. We're not going to have to wait too long to get those then. I probably should take this cautiously though. It would be really, really stupid to lose to a gym trainer because I hadn't bothered to heal between matches. Strategy for Giovanni should be. Do we really need one? Do we teach Giga Drain TM to anyone? No, we have not. It's who would use it? It's a like Parasect is a physical attacker, so it's no good for it. And Giga Drain's attack power is what, 60? So is there any point to it? Is it strong enough to be actually useful compared to the other attacks that they could have? Saying with Forest weakness. Whoops. Why did I do that? Wrong Pokemon. Wrong Pokemon. Oh, it's paralyzed. I'll take that. I'm trying to think, will grass attacks help us against anything I'm likely to face later? Because really it only helps us if we're up against stuff with weak. I guess it might be okay against some of the trainers on Victory Road. Bloody. That was painful. Okay, now I'm a little more worried that Pincer is not going to be able to take out the ace of Giovanni. That was painful. Anyway. Heal up. I'm gonna have to take a very quick break and I will be right back. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, jeez, we had a raid wall. Wait. Hello, raiders. Welcome. This is nice timing. Okay. Straight back into it. I guess we need to, since you gave me a target, Poker Delta, I do need to get these polys from here so we can complete the decks, and then we'll get back to the gym. Yes, for all you raiders, welcome. I am Archaic, Bulbagarden webmaster, resident old trainer yelling at old terrier. You would know me better from the Bulbapedia. We are currently doing a bug-only run of LeafGreen. One of the conditions of the run being, though, that we do have to catch everything, even if we're not using it. So here we are trying to catch a few things before we continue on. I really should have left that Butterfree up. The 4-5 double side, don't see that too often. Here on the Bulbagarden channel, you'll get a whole team of different streamers every day of the week. Our teams play various different Pokemon games for various different purposes, and occasionally some non-Pokemon games that are linked to Pokemon in some way. Actually, one thing we'll have starting again soon is Pokopia, of course, because the DLC is out soon. Be Dawning or Kasumi streaming tomorrow? Good question, actually. I need to ask Kasumi if she is up to streaming tomorrow, because if she's not, then maybe it's me. Because I don't know if we've actually got anyone scheduled for the Pokopia thing, but actually, what time is it now in Australia? Because if it's past midnight, then my copy is now working. 6:13 AM. Oh wait, but it's the 4th. It comes out the 5th, right? So that'll be tomorrow. How's the mountain bug running? We are going... Yeah, Kasumi's definitely planning on doing Pokopia. I don't know the exact start date of it. I need to talk to her. I don't think Caps has talked to her yet to clarify that stuff either. Because she's... Just because of how things are at the moment, she's going to have to be doing it here on my computer. So we need to figure that out. The mono bug run is going pretty well. Zeplander. We are up to the final gym. I need to make sure I'm actually using the correct... Yeah, I am super odd. We're up to the final gym. We will have that beat by the end of today. The only question is, well, how much further can we get after that, I suppose. But why didn't I change that over? I meant to change that over. Whatever. But yeah, I know Kasumi's playing Pokopia right as we speak. But I don't know, she'll come upstairs before the end of this stream, so I'll ask her what she wants to do after she comes up. Because if she has figured out a time that she's streaming, she hasn't mentioned it to me yet. Jeez, I'm gonna have to buy more Pokeballs at this rate. Do I risk a gust? like this is... Oh, perfect amount of damage. Oh, for a second I thought I'd made a massive mistake, but that was very lucky. Remind me, what date was it that Pokopia was coming out? Was it the expansion? Was it the 5th or was it the 6th? Because yeah, if it is the 5th, then we've already got it. Returning to ZA on Wednesday. Well, okay then, if Dawning's returning to ZA, then it's definitely Kasumi who's doing Pokopia when that's happening. I haven't seen any... Like, there's still nothing in our schedule for the Wednesday. So I don't know if it's that's happening tomorrow and it just hasn't been added, or if it's not happening this week. I would say check the stream schedule tomorrow to be absolutely sure of that. I will ping Dawning after this and let them know that people are asking. Actually, are they online right now? Let me check. Dawning Winds is not online. Well, they're online, but do not disturb right now. I'll leave a quick message for them. Alright. Left the message. Taking a quick look at our schedule, like I would imagine that if we... 4th Service Fair. Wait. Really? It was out 4th? You sure? I did not think it was coming out on the 4th. In which case, apparently I already have it. I did not think... I'm actually going to have to look this up now. I could have sworn it was the 5th. Released with patch 2.0.0 August 5th, 2026. Okay, so it is August 5th in Australia now, so I do actually have it already then. Yeah, so okay, the question will be how we want to handle that on stream. Because I'm not sure if Kasumi streaming Pokopia wanted to start from the beginning, or if they just show their current save and just visit Bubbly Basin in that, or if they do that and then they'd go onto a completely new run. It does feel a little silly to not show Bubbly Basin for tomorrow, like if we were going to do a stream tomorrow there specifically, doesn't it? Like I said, we'll ask. just gonna show guys I'm gonna be okay with saying this if she wants to do it. Well, that's true. You are on the forums at least then, Jay, right? That's a bit quieter. I'll just head to Bulbagarden.net and take a look at the forums. It's pretty chill. Fair enough. Well, that's true. Some fan bases can sometimes ruin things for everyone else. I mean, I'll admit, I in the past have often found it very difficult to be around the fandom at the time of a game launch. Things would just be extremely awkward. If I'm like trying to play through a game blind, at my own pace, which for like the better part of a decade while I was doing like my postgraduate study would mean that I wasn't playing like 40 hours in a week because I literally didn't have that sort of time. It's also phone 3 hours 22. Oh, I still haven't finished 3 houses. I need to go back and do that. Especially with Fortune's Weave coming up that direct this morning. Oh, that looked good. I'm still not clear on if it's going to be a sequel or a prequel to Three Houses or not. Actually, for that matter, did I finish Three Hopes? I can't remember if I finished Three Hopes either. I mean, the whole true protagonist thing, I strongly suspect we're not really playing with them for the majority of the time. We're playing one of the 4 heroes' routes and swapping back and forth between each. Actually, that gimmick has got me wondering, like, since the recruitable characters seem to exist in the world, does this mean that we're going to have to think about which characters we want to recruit on which routes so we can distribute the potential recruitable characters properly? And similarly for like quests, are we going to have to be careful about like which characters do which quests? Like, will some be better at certain quests than others? Like, how is that going to work? I don't think we've ever had parallel stories before. We've had different routes we could go down, but they weren't parallel. So it's an interesting gimmick. I mean, the avatars in Fire Emblem go back quite a long time. Who would be the first? Mark? But of course, then they were just the tactician, rather than being someone who actually fought in battle as well. But yeah, I mean, I'll agree that I would be happy to not see choose your own, like, create your own character avatar thing. Have I got those? Thank you for the reminder, KR Black. I was getting annoyed at myself the other week because I have my hand was hurting, so I hadn't bought Splatoon Raiders, and I figured that if I bought that, I wouldn't be able to focus on this anyway. But because of that, I ended up forgetting to get all my Splatoon Raiders ones here. So I got this second set, but I didn't. Oh wait, will be distributed until. So yeah, this is the second set. I missed the first set completely, annoyingly. Yeah, I'll admit I never actually played Engage. I do own it, but I haven't played it. Like, I do understand to an extent why they do the whole create a character deal. Because, like, they want people to feel immersed in it, yada yada yada. And I mean, there is a valid concern there that if you basically create games with only, like, male protagonists, as Fire Emblem did have for a long time, that's obviously an issue. At the same time, I kind of wish we did have set protagonists again, and I mean, making like Game Boy games where we had like Lyn and Hector and so forth. Like, you can find a way to do that. Yeah, I mean, everything I've heard about Engage has basically said that, like, great gameplay, but the story is anime cringe. Self-insert protagonists with Fire Emblem style support stuff just encourages dating sim stuff. Let's be honest. Like, I think it worked for Awakening, particularly given that was planned as a potentially the final game of the series. Like, I think it made a lot of sense for Awakening. But I agree that it's probably been a bit overused since. Oh, I mean, everyone's hoping for that Genealogy remake, which allegedly exists and has been completed and just isn't being released for some reason. Like, my best guess at this stage is that if it exists, then they decided to not release it because Switch 2 and they wanted to improve the graphics. Like, if it just hadn't fit into the release schedule, and so it got pushed back, and it will eventually come out after they've updated the graphics a little. and when there's an actual spot in the release schedule that makes sense for it. The problem is we thought that was why they were holding it back on the Switch 1, that it was like, oh yeah, they're just waiting for a gap in the release schedule, and then they didn't release it towards the end of the Switch 1's life when there were plenty of gaps in the release schedule before Switch 2 came out, so yeah. That's the wrong way. Okay. Alright. We're actually up to Giovanni already. Alright. Well. Yeah. I mean, I do actually own an original Japanese genealogy card. Though, mind you, since I've got a Japanese Switch account, I could, if I wanted to play genealogy, I'd probably just play on Switch Online at the moment. But yeah, no, I have a complete in-box Japanese genealogy. It didn't even cost much. It was like, I want to say 500 yen? In like, when did I buy that? I want to say 2017? Something like that? I guess that's 9 years ago now, but yeah. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, no, I have, like, I've got the special edition release they did of the first game on the Switch. So, like, with the glass fake carton, the code to download and everything. I've got original Japanese carts of Shadow Dragon and what's the correct name for that one? The Game 3, anyway. And genealogy. I don't have Thracia. I could have bought it. A copy of I shouldn't call it Thracia. It's Thracia. That's how the Japanese source systems pronounced it. I didn't have a copy of it. I could have bought it. The copy I found was a Nintendo Power cartridge. It wasn't a labeled copy of Thracia, so it didn't have like Thracia on the cart label or dang it, I should have swapped out now. Didn't knock it out? No, good. Okay, well, I can just put something quicker up. But yeah, so like it as a display piece, it wouldn't have said like this is Fire Emblem. Like the box was a Nintendo Power Cart box with a Thracia sticker on the front, so it didn't really do it for me. I wanted one of the actual carts that was made with Thracia as the thing with the box of Thracia. Never found one. If I had, it probably would have been too expensive, but never found one. I do have my original GameCube and Wii Fire Emblems. I've got all the Game Boy Fire Emblems that were released in English. I didn't find the Japanese ones when I was over there that I didn't have, but I mean, again, for me now, those are on Switch Online, so it's like I have a means to play it in Japanese if I want to. So I think what would be the ones I don't have access to play? Like even Thrakia. Is Thrakia on the Japanese Switch Online? I think it might be. In which case I have the ability to play every single Fire Emblem game. Except the Satellite View one, obviously. Well, we're doing pretty well here. Actually, I would have to double check which ones I do and don't have the ability to play, because I would imagine Gaiden, as in the original NES Gaiden, I think it's on Switch Online, Japanese, but Thrakia is supposed to be insanely hard, yeah. Like, even compared to normal Fire Emblem games. Ooh, that's what I was worried about. Oh, it doesn't knock me out, it's fine. Gaiden got the remake on DS, yes, which I never finished. And so many Fire Emblem games that I never finished. I mean, it didn't help that so many came out while I was doing my PhD. I finished Awakening's main story one Christmas holiday. Actually, one Christmas holiday we spent here in Costa Rica. But you know, I have all the DLC. Don't think I ever finished it all. Had some ridiculously hard levels at the end, which I never finished. Oh, and Giovanni goes down like a chump. Frankly, that was easier than Blaine. I mean, we only needed 3 Pokemon. We didn't even get out the other ones that... Well, we didn't get out the Pinsir, who were going, oh yeah, that'll take him out. We didn't get out Butterfree, who proved themselves with... against Blaine with Sleep Powder. Earthquake. Very important. Very important. Are we going to use that immediately? No, because we need to think about how best to... Well, actually, you know what? Let's have a quick look. Because it might be we've only got one user of Earthquake anyway. Because I think... Yeah, okay. The only person we can teach Earthquake to of the Pokemon we have is Heracross. So we would need to think, do we want to keep... Or do we want to give that to Heracross? Or do we want to give it to Pinsir? Does Heracross get Earthquake on its own in this game? I don't think it would. I mean, we're not going to have Heracross for a while anyway. Forge, Grove Reference, and Silica's Gate on your phone. I mean... The forging weapons part was always something I hated to do and struggled with. Only the TM. Ugh. And that is the only Earthquake TM in the whole game. Because, like, I can't deny that Earthquake would make the run a lot easier. It would make Victory Road a lot more straightforward. and it's definitely got applications against the Elite Four. We would be throwing some PP up onto it if we had any. And teacher expensive, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Do I want to make the run easier for myself? Because there's a point where it's nothing if you can't use it. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess my point is, do I want to save it and only use it if I am actually struggling? Because finishing it without the earthquake would feel like an achievement. Why am I going this way? I can't go that way, can I? As it is. What would we get rid of? Well, I guess we'd get rid of revenge, wouldn't we? Brick breaks consistent enough and pincers going faster than a lot of our opponents, so giving up the speed to use revenge is probably not ideal. Oh, crud, I'm not prepared for this. I did save, right? Oh, jeez. I was not thinking straight there. Okay, well, we will see if we take this out, and if not, we reset. Oh, jeez. Pidgeot up first. We're dead. We're not dead, apparently. We'll see if that spore holds. Well, this was very silly. Worst comes after... Yeah, worst comes to it. Giovanni was a chump. Holy heck. Who's going to be... Okay. Speed 119. Speed 97. Okay. We are going to hope the Psybeam can take it out. Oh dear. Well, I confused it. Okay. We got lucky there, maybe. We got lucky. Phew. Okay. One down. He still has more Pokemon left than we do. Get out of there. Get out of there. Ouch. Silver Wind. Oh, okay, use Future Sight. That's alright for now. Maybe. The fact we're slower than him is a bit annoying. Didn't knock out, but it's close, so we should be okay. We're dead. Okay, we haven't even fought the dang Charizard yet. And that Future Sight's going to deal significant damage. Yep, this will hurt. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Pincer, and let's hope he's going to Rock Blast, isn't he? No, takedown. Okay, we can take that, maybe. Yeah, we can take that. He hasn't even got Charizard out yet. He's still got 3 Pokemon. Now comes the Charizard. Okay. He's going to one-hit KO me, isn't he? Yep. And Butterfree's already down, so I can't sleep him. So this match is lost, almost certainly. We will probably have to reset unless we get very lucky on the confusions. Ooh, please. Come on, hurt yourself, hurt yourself. Ah! Can we survive one? I don't... If we were at full HP maybe, I don't think we can from this. Can Beedrill take out the whole battle? I highly doubt it. Double resist, single resist. Yeah, I think this... Yeah, we're doomed. Yeah, when did we last save? We are going to discover. I think we've found the next wall, folks. Oh, that said 8 badges. That said 8 badges. We saved. And won somehow. So it was a close match, they thought. Really? Okay. So, thank goodness we saved right before that battle. Oh. That gave me a scare. Okay. So, well, let's look at it this way. That gave us warning of what we're going to face. We need to get Butterfree quicker than Pidgeot, I think. Butterfree probably has the best chance of taking out Pidgeot, if it can sleep it. But the problem there is Butterfree probably also needs to help us take out Charizard. I don't think we have any hope of taking out Charizard unless we can get it asleep. So Butterfree needs some levels. Stat. The Rhyhorn goes down pretty easily to Pinsir. The Alakazam should have been hit by Parasect, but Parasect was knocked out. So, whoops. The fact that Butterfree can't one-hit can't one-hit Alakazam was also annoying. Maybe if I'd slept the Alakazam and then used Silverwind, we might have come out a bit differently there. But we can probably deal with the Alakazam. What Pokemon didn't we face? He had one more after Charizard, didn't he? Pidgeot, Rhyhorn, Execute. Jeez, he had 2 more after the Charizard. Ack. Okay, Execute we can destroy so long as Beedrill's around. That's not an issue. Heck, even if we have to use Parasect. So yeah, Execute will be trivial. Gyarados. What attacks does this Gyarados have? Does it have any flying attacks? If it doesn't, that's also kind of trivial. Well, not trivial, but doesn't have flying attacks? Okay, so that'll be a straightforward beatdown with whatever I have available. Water from Twister Leo. Surely water counts as special in this. How will Leah help it do anything? Okay. I guess we're... Okay. Twister's physical. Oh, okay. Wait, is Twister physical in this generation? No. Okay. So, setting up other Pokemon that... Yeah, that's... Well, hey, if Gyarados wants to just leer at me a bunch and then I swap out to another Pokemon, I am not going to complain. Alright, we know one island has... has Moltres. And the fire Pokemon we need to catch. Does 2 Island have any Pokemon we need to catch? We weren't here for long before, we just jetted straight off to 3 Island. Get me out for that. Gyarados is Intimidate. Okay, so it also reduces attack, but I mean, we'll probably end up using a special attacker against it anyway, so that's probably not going to harm us any. Okay, so I'm not too worried about Gyarados, I'm not too worried about Execute, I'm not too worried about Rhyhorn. All of those have pretty clear strategies to beat them up. The issues are Pidgeot, I mean, I shouldn't say Alakazam, but it's potentially an issue depending on when it comes out. But definitely Pidgeot and Charizard. If I can take those 2 out, I can probably take everything else out in a hard-fought battle. I do think Charizard coming out so late in that battle then was annoying. Like, the fact he can actually fight with a full team of 6, whereas I'm restricted to 5 at this point. Does not help. Yeah, the future sight, I mean, it didn't do too much damage. Thankfully. But definitely it's annoying. I mean, at least it doesn't seem to, like, hit for weakness. But yeah, let's have a think here. So, if we start with Butterfree, what is the most likely Pokemon for the AI to bring out next? Will it go straight into Charizard if we have Butterfree out? or will it go into, say, the Rhyhorn? What was the order it brought things out? So we had Parasect. It got knocked out. We brought out Venomoth, and so it brought out Alakazam because we had a poison type on the field. After Alakazam, it brought out Rhyhorn because we had Butterfree on the field. So yeah, if we start with Butterfree, we're going to have to switch out after if we start with Butterfree, take out Pidgeot, they're going to bring out Rhyhorn, we switch into Pinsir, take it out, and it's going to bring in Charizard. We have to let Pinsir get knocked out then, which is fine because there's nothing else that we absolutely need the Pinsir for. We bring in the Butterfree, hopefully we pull the sleep trick on it. Sleep on 2 on Dunsparce, 3 on Post-Dex. Okay. What was that trainer talking about then? And I assume Slowbros are fishing up, right? Or is Slowbro fishing or is it swimming? Well, surfing rather. Slowbro's grass and surf. Okay, well, which is, I guess the chance is better as a surf than it is grass. Which is it? Five for both? Oh, okay. Well, at least Butterfree's getting some experience then. Unfortunately, one thing I know we don't have on Bulbapedia are the stats for trainers Pokemon. So I have no idea what I need to get Butterfree up to, so it'll be quicker than that Charizard. Venomoth was quicker, but Venomoth's got a lot more speed already. So long as we can outspeed it, we have a chance. Yeah, we got Weepinbell already. Okay, so start with Butterfree against Pidgeot, hopefully take it out with cheap shots. And with any luck, pull out his full heal while doing so. Swap in Pinsir for the follow-up Rhyhorn. Surely it's going to be Charizard then, right? After... Ooh. Oh, we've already got Slowbro. What do you know? Well, that means there's nothing to catch on this island. Look at 3 Island. See if there's any trainers or anything to fight there, and if not, we're probably just going back to 1 Island, finishing that off, and I guess Jeez, I guess we'll have to do the power plant, won't we? I mean, I do think the Sevii Islands are probably the best places to train. Actually, Power Plant's wild Pokemon levels are lower level, aren't they? So they might not be a very good place to train anyway. We might skip that until we actually need to get Zapdos. Yeah, I don't think anyone has really recorded the stats of trainers' Pokemon. It's an oversight that's gone back many years, but it's not something you could see in game. So, like, realistically, back in the days where we were manually filling out everything based on observations from playing, like, how would we ever know? The only way to get that would be outright through data mining. Levels 22 to 35. Yeah, so it's not even worth going to. We've got much higher levels with the various trainers around here. In which case, we've fought all the trainers here too, haven't we? Oh, no. There's... I remember there was a trainer we skipped earlier because we needed Surf, so we may as well go and take them out. I mean, people figured these things out, but it wasn't something that, like, random people just playing the game would absolutely know 100% for sure, especially when you're racing to frantically get information up at the once games have come out. Well, were we racing? Not in those days. Back in those days, we were casually buying Japanese strategy guides and putting the information up over the course of months before it came out overseas, but yeah. But you're right, they're probably... Someone has probably recorded them somewhere, you're right. But... how reliable are they? I mean, I vaguely have memories that with at least one game people were like, there's no point even doing this because the Pokemon are randomly generated when the battle starts. And so the moves might be fixed, but the stats and IVs might not be. In which case, like, what are you going to do? But I honestly don't know. Realistically, all we can do is get ourselves up a few levels and try. This time, Butterfree was already knocked out before we got to Charizard, so we had no possibility to try. But if we're a bit more prepared, we might be okay. Hello there, Navarre. Welcome all you raiders. We are currently in the middle of a bug-only run of Pokemon LeafGreen. We've defeated Giovanni, but we're at a bit of an impasse. Basically, we've hit a wall, namely our rival, who has a Pidgeot and a Charizard that can wipe the floor with us. And we need to do a bit of grinding to get our levels up to where we can actually handle them, we think. But yes, for those of you who may not know us, welcome to the Bulbagarden channel. You probably know Bulbagarden better for the Bulbapedia, the community-driven Pokemon encyclopedia. On this channel, we've got a whole group of our staff streaming. Different person every day, really. So plenty of different Pokemon content to enjoy here. Why am I running from wild Pokemon? I need to level up. Well, we've got the trainers, they're probably more efficient anyway. Ooh, we do not have a Ponyta yet. Ooh, we may as well catch that while we are here. I think Silver Wind won't knock it out with the resistance. Right. Perfect. We don't have that active use back in the IRC days. Oh, we've still got a lot of the old IRC people around, like Misty, who used to run our Bulba IRC. These days runs our Bulbagarden Discord server. Yeah, you really must be a long-time fan if you remember the old IRC days. It's been a while since we had that now. Like, jeez. Over 10... Is it over 10 years? I think there was a time when we had the IRC and Discord running alongside each other. I think we even bridged them at one point. But, that was a long time ago. Oh, there's the Ponyta. One more for the decks. But always great to see some people who've been around for a while. I actually recently wrote an academic book chapter, would you believe, on like the history of the Pokemon fandom. So that's coming out later this. Well, I think it's later this year. They're trying to get it published while it's still the 30th anniversary year. It's like a whole, I mean, it's a whole book. I'm not the only person in it. There's a whole bunch of other people writing as well. What was it, like 17 chapters, something like that? But yeah, there's not as many of the old people around as there used to be. And those chapters, before even an adult, I'm 35. Well, yeah, I know that feeling. I mean, I chose the name Archaic back in 1998. That sounds right, 1998. And I've really grown into it. I was in high school back then. I called myself Archaic because I liked playing retro games on the Super Nintendo rather than playing on the N64. And I mean, these days, like, I have a PhD. I have moved overseas. I am in my 40s. I have at times literally walked around with a cane. Outspeeds Charizard 1-1. Speed pretty close to Charizard from a rough calculation. Yeah, so Venomoth was outspeeding our rival's Charizard. Let's have a quick double check what speed that is. 119, yeah. So... now Pinsir did not outspeed Charizard. Did it? Charizard went first, right? I think. So yeah, if, jeez, we got a problem. Okay, we definitely need a few more levels for Butterfree. We might need to be in the 50s somewhere. Hopefully we don't need to be above 110. That might take a little while. But I guess it's not as bad as it could be. But yeah, I figure if we can get the Pidgeot and the... And we're already quicker than the Pidgeot, I think. Only 1 speed? Come on, give me more than that. 110 extra. Okay, well, worst case scenario, if we're only getting 1 speed per level, we might have to get Butterfree up to 60, which would be brutal, but I mean, doable. I mean, compared to doing this in Gen 1, like in Gen 1 right now, I'd be going back and forth around the Seafoam Islands to try to train up for that battle, which wouldn't be pleasant. So this is a lot more achievable. Oh, I will mention to Misty that you rated us, Never. Would he know you under that name, or did you use a different screen name back in those days? Here I am showing my age, calling it a screen name. Well, I'm sure I remember one of those. Poker Sensei does kind of ring a bell for me, but that it might be slightly generic. There might have been a few people who used the name along those lines over the years. At least the trainers here are actually giving us some decent XP. The wild Pokemon leave something to be desired. Well, it'll be better in a bit. Yeah, not right now, thank you. Sevii as well, range 5 to 40. Yeah, I mean, there'll occasionally be some things worth beating up there, but not often enough. So that has 19 speed in Gen 1, much different stuff. Ooh. If it's 119, that's going to be difficult to outspeed. I mean, we can gain some levels. It would have been a really nice time to actually gain a level. But it's going to be bad enough if we have to take this all the way to level 60. 2 speed, okay, that's better. Maybe we only need to take this to level 55, if we're lucky. Okay, so that's all this PP for Psychic. Do I go back and heal, or do I just... Maybe I just throw XP share on it for the moment. Because everyone else is going to need some levels too. Dang, I miss Bags having more pockets. level up, is the question. See, the others are doing pretty well against the opponents they had. Maybe the Parasect just to play it safe, because we might need Parasect to actually take on that Alakazam for us. Well, at least if that executes any indication, we shouldn't have any problem with that one. Either Beedrill or Parasect can clean it out. Yeah, it's certainly a very different run than in Gen 1. The like the expanded Pokemon move pools are definitely a double-edged sword in that like you have to actually worry about all of the moves the opponents have access to. In Gen 1 they typically had access to much weaker versions of their attacks, and I mean, how late would the rivals Charizard still be using, like Ember potentially in Gen 1, whereas here we're having to deal obviously with Flamethrower from what, still? In Gen 1 he would have still had Ember at that point, so oh, that's much worse. Ow. Ah, still not too bad. I guess, oh, of course, because it'd be considered a special attack and Hitmonchan not have good special. Oh, gee, that was a nice crit. Still, Parasect Hilton getting a bit damaged there. We might need to swap out to someone else. This is definitely the wrong Pokemon to have active against Ponyta. Thankfully we're amazingly quicker than it, but we do have Rapidashes around here, don't we? So yeah, let's swap out. Do need to catch a Rapidash for the Dex. Right in the grass, 5% each. Ugh. That's rough. Got to figure out which is the best patch of grass to use then. And we can't come down there, which means we need to go through the cave. That's probably the best patch of grass to use. I think that's the longest straight run we're gonna get. so great. No. Need something worth a bit more XP than that. Random personal Reddit saying the last pre-lethal rival battle having 30th in every RV is correct. I mean, Charizard would have to speed reducing nature to be outspeeded by 118, would have 113. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. And the question then would be, are natures set or are they randomly determined? Because if natures are randomly determined between, like, whenever we start the battle, actually, there's a few ways it could be determined, couldn't it? It could be fixed, it could be random based on seed, which would probably be trainer ID, or it could be random and calculated at time of battle start. I mean, if it's got a speed reducing nature, we can probably assume it's speed down, special attack up, right? Oh, actually no, maybe not. I mean, it did fail. Wait, no, it wasn't the Charizard that failed to knock out. It was the Pidgeot that failed to knock out Parasect with a wing attack, wasn't it? That was weird. They just seem to be always at the same one. Okay. Well, theoretically then, we can probably let's target 113 for Butterfree's speed. Ah, shiny! Pity it's not one we can use in the run. Okay. Hello. Let's get that asleep. Jeez. Was not prepared for a shiny. Did not use that attack. Did not knock it out. Okay. Do I just throw balls? Or what can I use to whittle it down that won't knock it out with a crit? Because that would be my fear right now. Okay, let's 10 balls. First ball. Well, I don't know what we're gonna name that. We'll name it next week. I guess that's our mascot. Maybe that goes with us to fight the Elite Four in the end. One week late. Well, yeah, it would have been nice if we got a decent shiny in the Safari Zone for that. Actually, it's not 1 week late. It's 2 weeks late. But yeah, it would have been nice to have got that. We just caught a shiny Spearow. So, yeah, just ran into it. Completely full odds. I would have been... I mean, I know flying Pokemon are the nemesis of bug Pokemon. But I would have been really annoyed if that one had gotten away. I have missed too many shinies on this channel over the years. Am I going to see any Pokemon here that I need to catch, or for that matter, any trainers, or is this just pointless? I should just go back outside. Machoke here, 20%. Okay, good. At least we've got something. And probably the gravel is in the rocks occasionally, right? Well, thanks for joining us, Navar. I'll, as I said, let Misty know you are here. And thank you very much for the raid, and we'll see you around again sometime, hopefully. Gravel's 5% in rocks. Oh, there's the Machoke. That will knock it out if I hit that again. Yeah, that's fine. Bring out the free sleeper. Human podcast. Yeah, something like that. And certainly people have got me rambling on enough about Pokemon fandom history and so forth. When do we get a non-human podcast? I mean, there's probably far too many of those out there already, let's be honest. Far too many AI generated ones. Those are certainly non-human. None of that here. Unless we can somehow make Porygon's podcast. A podcast about non-humans. I mean, and some capybaras about podcast on honestly. Okay, random capybara news that I did actually hear earlier today. Apparently, capybaras just randomly wandered into some Brazilian parliament, like I think some regional parliament this week, while the politicians were having a vote, and they basically just like, yeah, whatever. It's capybaras, yeah, they're around here all the time. Now this is going to be... to kick them out. Exactly. Well, I mean, they're probably protected as well. I'd imagine there would be problems if people were beating them up. And yeah, that's Moltres. We are definitely not going to be taking Moltres on. We do, like, we need to get all these legendary birds at some point, but now is not the time for that. Alright. Where are we? Oh, jeez. Why do you use bug types? So, this is a mono bug run. When I was playing Gen 1 and 2 back in the day, I played them as mono bug. Like Gen 1, I did it because I wanted a challenge. I didn't find it particularly challenging otherwise. Gen 2, I wasn't going to do it initially. Oh, what do I... Bug types I'm referring to Moltres. Right, well, I mean, this whole thing is a mono bug run. So all our team is bugs. We've got to do everything that we're doing here with bugs. As for catching Moltres, I mean, catching the legendary birds is part of beating the game. Or sarcastic. Oh, I can't tell sarcasm through this text here, can I? But, yeah. As it is, I'm just noticing the time, and it's like it's actually well past when we were supposed to finish this stream, wasn't it? I guess we'll go for just a little while longer. I want to see if we can actually get the final 2 Pokemon we need from here. And then we need to figure out what we're going to do to train up, because I guess we've kind of defeated all the trainers unless we start using the Verse Seeker and getting some refights. Actually, speaking of which, where is my Verse Seeker? What? I can't use it here? Seriously? It's been 20 years since I used the Verse Seeker. I can't recall how effective it's gonna be to actually get refights, or if I'm better off just fighting wild Pokemon. But yes, going overtime got me a shiny. Like just full odds, random shiny. Another 3 trainers here can be rematched. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. Perfect sense then. Anyone else on one island can be? Oh, there's the Rapidash. And level 42. Okay, please don't destroy me. Please don't get knocked out when I hit you with a brick break. That. Hopefully that'll be low enough HP that we can put it to sleep. So after this, it's just the magma, alright? Might have to double check route data over the coming week just to see if there are any other Pokemon we've missed that need to be caught to satisfy that condition. As it is, we should probably go and heal up, shouldn't we? Fortress and Kindle Road that can be rematched. Okay, that's not sounding too bad then. As it is, we need to go and heal. Not ready for battle. Well, the trainers here were decently strong. Oh, well, not really. We knocked them out in one hit, mostly, but like the XP was actually decent. So, all fighting type trainers, perfect. Nice and easy for Butterfree to beat up then. Alright, if we're going to be leveling up, if we're going to be leveling up our Pokemon, we should probably also level up Venomoth. If we can... What level was Venomoth getting Psychic? Like, just the fact that it's definitely the quickest Pokemon we've got. 52, okay. Well, we're already aiming for well beyond that for Butterfree, so we can definitely do 52 for Venomoth. Another 2 points, excellent. Yeah, these trainer Pokemon are definitely much more efficient for leveling. Especially with the hot springs here to heal up. But yeah, I don't know how useful Venomoth will be against our rival. But just the fact that it outspeeds everything gives it a lot of utility if like someone else has been knocked out and I need to give it just a little more juice to knock out our opponents. Yeah, okay. Well, you can do that. Just do the people on screen for the Verse Seeker. Was that it? Where were the other fighting type ones? No, none of them are going to be fighting type. All ones to the south. Okay. Well, I think we are probably done for the night. And we can use the Verse Seeker again down here and maybe see if we can get someone, but we probably won't. Oh, we got one. See if we've got anyone who we should be raiding after we finish this. Let's see. I mean, Pokemon Cast is doing Pokopia stuff. That probably makes the most sense. So, yeah, we'll finish this battle and then I think we'll head back to the Pokemon Center and go and do that. Oh, that's Kasumi coming upstairs. Excellent. We wanted to check when she's going to do her stream, so we'll ask. One moment. Okay, apparently Kasumi is not going to be streaming just yet, so don't expect Kasumi for probably at least several weeks at this point. Apparently some things still need to be worked out with the logistics of that and making sure it's not getting in the way of other people. And I think, well, honestly, I think Kasumi's also not very enthusiastic about streaming on my computer. Would prefer to stream with hers, and that's a bit hard at the moment. We're not set up for that just yet. Okay, let's go. Should I bother going to the Pokemon Center? You know what? I shouldn't, because we're just going to be healing around that hot spring, aren't we? If we're going to be running back and forth trying to... Well, we still need to get the Magmar as well next week. Complete the decks of Pokemon we can actually get. Alright, so targets for next week. Ideally, end of next week's stream, we want to defeat our rival. I don't think we're realistically going to get into Victory Road next week, but maybe we can. Maybe we can. We'll see how long it takes for us to actually get Butterfree up. So we will probably start trying to catch that Magmar, getting whatever levels we can while we're doing that. We will then finish leveling Butterfree up to 114 speed. We will level up Venomoth to 52 to get Psychic. And then we can decide if we want to level anyone else up in particular. Thankfully, our rival does not have any other Pokemon above level 50, so we're probably already decent enough to take them out. It's just making sure that we handle the Pidgeot and the Charizard. So yeah, all in all, I mean, we're doing pretty well. We're I don't know how many episodes we're going to need to complete the game, particularly since I have no idea off the top of my head how long things will take after the Elite Four. But I'm hopeful at least that once we get to the Elite Four, we might not need... No, I mean, who am I kidding? We're going to need at least 1 week just training the Pokemon for the Elite Four, aren't we? We're probably going to have to level up a bit. But we'll see how we go. We'll, so long as we spend all our money before fighting the Elite Four, at least it won't go to waste, even if we fight them over and over for the experience. In any case, that will be the end of it for us this week. We'll leave you by going and raiding Pokemon Cast in just a moment. Next stream on the channel. I guess there's no stream tomorrow. If there is, maybe there'll be an ad hoc one for Pokopia DLC stuff, but no stream on the schedule currently. On Thursday, CapsFan is back with his continuing Nuzlocke challenge, currently on Moon. Abby's doing Pokedachi Life on Friday. On Saturday, CapsFan again with Mystery Dungeon Mornings, and Dawn England's with Sketching Saturdays. On Sunday, we have Shiny Hunting with Snowy, and Emmy's continuing crazy run of Pokemon Ultra Sun. And of course, Mochi's back on Monday with more competitive Pokemon Champions before I'm up again Tuesday next week. Until then, as always, you can find us on Bulbagarden forums, Bulbagarden Discord. All the links to that stuff and our socials are in the channel description below. And while I have been barred from using it for the purpose of this run, we hope you'll continue to find our Bulbapedia useful to you in your own enjoyment of the franchise. Alright, time for me to head off. Let's get this raid going, and we'll see you all again sometime soon. Alright, so as always, I've been Archaic, Bulbagarden Webmaster, resident old trainer yelling at old terrier, and I'll see you around. Have a good one.